Hi, everybody. Welcome to this community practice, Anchoring the Mind, a guided meditation. Meditation could be in many ways considered the pinnacle of yoga practice in the sense that the physical poses we do, the pranayama, all the auxiliary practices ultimately are leading us to hopefully have a comfortable and fulfilling meditation. And science continues to validate the benefits of meditation in many different aspects of wellness, reducing stress, balancing the nervous system, improving sleep, improving mental health in general. And here at the Himalayan Institute, we often introduce meditation as a 5-step practice. It's actually really helpful to have a system when you're learning how to meditate, because with a systematic practice, you can learn to master each aspect of that system. And also, a system is repeatable, meaning that each time you come back to the seat, you know the direction you're going, and you know which step is leading to the next. And so anchoring the mind is really the foundation of meditation. And that anchor can look different depending on the tradition, depending on the type of meditation. But in the 5-step meditation practice, we're essentially moving from a more physical anchor systematically to more and more subtle anchors until ultimately we get to the most subtle anchor for the mind, which is mantra, this internal sound upon which we rest our awareness. So we're going to go through that 5-step meditation practice during this session right now. So if you haven't already, make sure you grab the things you need for a comfortable seated practice. You're welcome to sit on a chair if that's the most comfortable for you, or you can sit on the floor in a propped meditation pose. So when you find your seat, there's really 3 things to think about when finding our seat in meditation. And actually, this is the first step of the 5-step meditation practice, finding a comfortable seat. So as I said, it doesn't matter if you're on a chair or on the floor, but there are 3 main principles that are always good to think about when you're finding a comfortable meditation seat. So the first is we'd like our weight to really be anchored through the sit bones. Having our weight on the sit bones allows us to distribute the weight of the body effectively, and it's comfortable. Secondly, ideally, the hips are either in line with or above the knees. So we don't want the knees above the hips. We're going to have to use all kinds of auxiliary muscles to hold ourselves in place if we do that, and that's going to be uncomfortable over time. And the third aspect of finding a comfortable seat is having the head, neck, and trunk somewhat in alignment. So we're not leaning forward, we're not arching back. We have the curves of the spine are nicely aligned so that we can hold ourselves comfortably. So this first step of the 5-step process is really about finding a comfortable seat. So, assuming you now have your comfortable seated position, we gently transition into the second step of meditation, which is effortless diaphragmatic breathing. So take a moment and bring your awareness to the abdomen. You'll notice that as you inhale, the abdomen gently expands, and as you exhale, the abdomen gently contracts. This movement in the abdomen is a result of engagement of the diaphragm muscle, a dome-shaped muscle underneath the lungs that actually moves down into that lower space of the torso as you inhale, and the organs displace, they make room for it. So that expansion is the organs gently making room for the diaphragm to move into that space. As you exhale, the diaphragm comes back to its original position, and the organs gently come back to their original position. So this rhythmic expansion and contraction in the abdomen is a good sign that we're starting to engage the diaphragm muscle as we breathe. And this is important for many reasons. On a physiological level, it's just more efficient to breathe diaphragmatically. But on a more subtle level, diaphragmatic breathing balances the autonomic nervous system. It gently attenuates sympathetic arousal, allows the parasympathetic nervous system to come into play. And having the nervous system calm is really an essential prerequisite for a comfortable meditation practice. You may also notice that in a seated position, there's a little bit of movement in the sides of the lower torso. The lower ribs are gently flaring a little bit, if you will, as you inhale, and gently contracting as you exhale. You may even notice just a little bit of movement in the low back. Very, very subtle, gentle expansion and contraction. So ultimately, the entire circumference of the lower torso may be just increasing a little bit each time you inhale and gently decreasing as you exhale. So starting to become aware of this smooth, rhythmic, diaphragmatic breath is the second step in the 5-step meditation process. So just take a moment to connect with your own breath. See if you can feel that rhythmic expansion and contraction with each inhalation and exhalation. And once we have effortless diaphragmatic breathing in place, we can then transition into the third step of the 5-step meditation practice, which is a very brief systematic relaxation. Now, this is not as involved, likely, as the systematic relaxations you would do lying on your back in Shavasana. It's generally focused on the upper portion of the torso, and it's really a way just to ensure that we are not holding on to any unnecessary tension before we start to move into the more subtle aspects of meditation. So go ahead and just gently scan the body. Bring your awareness, first of all, to the center of the forehead. Then allow your awareness to descend to the throat center, resting, softening, breathing here. Then allow your awareness to expand to the shoulders. Rest your awareness here, breathe. Let your awareness transition to the upper arms, the lower arms, your hands, fingers, and just take a couple of breaths at the very tips of your fingers, inhaling and exhaling, as if the breath is entering and leaving the body through the tips of your fingers. And then allow your awareness to travel back up through the fingers and hands, the lower arms, the upper arms, back through the shoulders to the throat center. Then allow your awareness to descend to the heart center. Rest your awareness here. Breathe, soften. And transition with your awareness to the navel center. And then let your awareness descend to the pelvic center between the hips, resting your awareness here, softening, breathing. You can then allow your awareness to come back up through the body, resting again at the navel center, the heart center, the throat center. Just briefly allow your awareness to then wash out down the backs of the upper arms, lower arms, backs of the hands and fingers to the fingertips one more time. Breathing here. Travel back up through the fingers and hands, backs of the lower arms and upper arms, through the shoulders, through to the throat center. And then once again, rest at the center of the forehead. So this third step is really just a very brief way to allow ourselves to systematically relax, letting go of any residual tension that may be there, to allow us to move into the fourth step of the 5-step meditation practice. And this is breath awareness at the base of the nose. So now I'd like you to bring your awareness to the base of the nose between the two nostrils. And you'll notice that as you inhale, there's a cool touch of air here at the base of the nose. And then as the air is warmed by the body, the exhale, the temperature of the air may be a little bit warmer. So allow these subtle changes in temperature to anchor your awareness here at the base of the nose between the nostrils, feeling that cool touch of air as you inhale, slightly warmer touch of air as you exhale. This is a very special point in yoga. It's one of many marma points, M-A-R-M-A. And these are points that we can start to transition from a more physical aspect of awareness to a much more subtle aspect of awareness. So you may notice that your awareness of this point begins to grow. Your awareness of this area becomes more and more refined. And I'd like you to be gently curious about this sensation. Allow yourself to let this sensation unfold. As you become more and more aware of this area, you'll notice more and more subtle aspects of this point of awareness. Allow the breath to be smooth, deep, without pause, without sound, and even. When you're engaged in this practice on your own, you're welcome to stay at this fourth step as long as you choose. It's a really pleasant experience, and you may find the mind actually wants to rest here. There's something inherently stabilizing, grounding, and even joyful about resting at this point at the base of the nostrils as you inhale and exhale. But for the purpose of this practice today, we're going to move on to the fifth and final step of the five-step meditation process, which is beginning to introduce the mantra. Now, there are many mantras that are used in meditation, but a wonderful mantra that is often taught here as we begin to learn the process of meditation is the mantra Soham. Now, Soham is a Sanskrit term that actually translates as I am that. I am that, pure awareness. And it's a beautiful sound to rest the mind in, but it also has a very practical application to our breath. It helps to further refine the breath, allow the breath to become seamless. And so the way we start to include the mantra Soham into the practice is as you inhale, internally in your mind, start to hear the sound So for the length of your inhalation. And as you exhale, you'll start to hear the sound hum for the length of your exhalation. So inhaling in your mind, just in the sound of your own voice, you begin to hear the sound so for the length of your inhale. And as you exhale, again in your mind, not out loud, you start to hear the sound hum for the length of your exhalation. So the sound so fills the complete length of your inhale. The sound hum fills the complete length of your exhale. Keep gently bringing your awareness back to this anchor, this subtle anchor of the sound, the mantra. Over time, you can allow one sound to merge into the next. So at the end of your inhalation, the sound so gently merges into the sound hum as you begin your exhalation. At the end of your exhalation, the sound hum merges into the sound so as you begin your inhalation. So we get this unbroken cycle of sound in which we rest our awareness. It's very natural for the mind to wander. If that happens, gently keep bringing your awareness back to the sound, back to the mantra. And so this fifth step of meditation, introducing the mantra, is something that when you're practicing this on your own, you can stay with this stage as long as you would like, as you would with the fourth stage. When it's time to gently transition out of the practice, it's useful to kind of reverse engineer the process, gently come back out to more subtle levels of awareness. So when the time is right for you, you can once again transition your awareness back to the base of the nose. Gently let the mantra fall into the background. Your awareness, again, is more focused at this touch of air at the base of the nostrils. Feeling that cool touch of air as you inhale, slightly warmer touch of air as you exhale. And then descend with your awareness back to the physical aspect of the breath at the abdomen. Allow yourself to once again feel that physical contact, that expansion as you inhale, gentle contraction as you exhale, possibly through the sides of the low ribs and the low back as well. The lower torso gently increasing in circumference as you inhale, gently decreasing as you exhale. And to finish the practice, bring your awareness to the navel center. See if you can rest in that sense of internal steadiness and ease that may be available to you here. According to the yoga tradition, this steadiness and ease is our true nature, and it's revealed to us through the practice. And so we'll take a moment to honor the teacher within you, the one within you that has the ability to find this steadiness and ease at will. Just gently bringing our hands to the heart center in a prayer position. Om, peace, peace, peace. And to conclude the practice, you can gently rub your hands together, create a little bit of heat between the palms. When you have that heat available to you, go ahead and place your palms over the closed eyes. Let that heat radiate into the eyes. Go ahead, open your eyes into your palms, and then gently lower your hands to come back into the space. So this is the 5-step meditation process. Each one of these steps can be elaborated on and rested on for a much longer period of time, but hopefully this gives you a nice introduction to the method. And I hope to see you again for another community practice soon. Thank you.